Alright, so in this video we're going to go over the sine area formula. Now, as you know back from geometry, that the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times height. Alright, so here we have a triangle with a height of 5 and a base of 10. So, you know that back from geometry you're just going to do 1/2 the base, which is 10, times the height, which is 5. So, that would be 10 times 5, which is 50, times 1/2 is 25. So, we know back from geometry that the area of this triangle is 25. Now, what happens if you just have a triangle like this, where you're given two sides and an included angle? Alright, that's all we have now is two sides and an included angle. Now, it's imperative, though, that the relationship of your sides, if you remember back to geometry, if you remember your triangle congruence theorems, alright, there was one that was side, angle, side, okay? And it is important to remember that in order to use the sine area formula that I'm about to give you, your triangle must be set up in the side, angle, side format, alright? Which is a side, the included angle, and another side. Okay? Another way to look at it is the 5 side and the 10 side. They actually form this 46-degree angle. That's what you want. Okay? That is what you want. You want it to be in the side, angle, side format. So, here's that same example. Let's go over it. Now, so here we have a triangle, and we have side, angle, side. All right, we have SAS, because remember that's important. SAS. Now, the formula, the new formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 of a side times another side times the sine of the angle in between. Okay, remember that it has to be the angle between the two sides. So in this case, we're going to use the 5, the 10, and the 46 to fill in this formula. If we had had this side, it wouldn't have mattered. We couldn't have used it for this formula because we have to use the 5 and 10 based on the fact that we have this 46-degree angle here. Okay? So, let's set this up and solve it. So, our area is going to equal 1/2 of 5 times 10 times the sine of 46 degrees. Alright? Times the sine of 46 degrees. So now, what you would do is you would just grab your calculator, take the sine of 46 degrees, alright, so we know that what I'm going to do is go ahead and distribute the 1/2 to the 10. So this is going to be 5 times 5, which is 25, times the sine of 46 degrees, which comes up to 0.719. Okay, multiply that by 25. So the area of our triangle up there, rounded to 2 decimal places, is going to be 17.98. Then, of course, units squared. Alright? So now, just to review this a little bit, remember it's 1/2 of one side times another side times the sine of the angle in between. Remember, it has to be the angle in between. Alright? Let's look at another example. Here we have another example. We want to find the area of this triangle. Alright, let me switch colors to keep them apart. Now, as you can see, we have this side and this side, so we need the included angle. Well, right here, we don't have this included angle. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to solve for it, okay, because this is not in the side angle side format. Well, the good thing is we have the other two angles of the triangle. So what we have to do is add them together and get 58, and subtract 58 from 180 to get 122 degrees for this angle. Alright, now we're going to use our new formula, which is 1/2 the side, 5, times the other side, 9, times the sine of the angle between them, 122 degrees. All right? So, if you go ahead and punch this into your calculator, 5 times 9 times the sine of 122, and then take half of that, and you should come up with 19.08. 19.08. All right, so our triangle here, remember, we had to find the 122 degree angle, because in order to do this problem, we had to have side, angle, side format. Okay, side included angle and another side format in order to do our formula. So 1/2 of 5 times 9 times the sine of 122. Punch that into your calculator. You should come up with 19.08. Okay? Now let's do one more example before we call this video done. Now let's look at this one. Find the area of this triangle. Well, we have an angle here, a side here, a side here, but this is not in the side angle side format. So what are we going to have to do? Well, we could solve for this angle, but to solve for this angle directly, we're going to need this side, which we don't have. Okay? So what I would go for is solve for this angle, because then once we get those two, we can easily find this angle, and then do our problem at the 11 to 24 times the sine of this angle. So now, to start with, what we have to do is we have to set this up to find this angle right here. Alright? I'm going to label these A, B, and C. So we're going to be solving for angle C. So what we have to do is, remember, we've got to do 24 over the sine of 82 degrees equals 11 over the sine of C. Alright? So now, we're going to do cross multiplication. 24 times the sine of C equals 11 times the sine of 82 degrees. Divide both sides by 24. So the sine of C equals 11 times the sine of 82 degrees divided by 24. So the sine of C is going to give us 0.454. And remember now you need to take the inverse sine of the 0.454. And that will give us our angle, which is 27 degrees. All right? So our angle now here for C is 27 degrees. All right? So now we can just add them together, subtract from 180. We know that this angle is 71 degrees. All right? So now we can use our new formula to find the area of this triangle here. All right? Let me erase this. All right, gone. So now, our area is simply 1/2 times 11 times 24 times the sine of 71 degrees. So, punch this into your calculator, and you should come back with 124.8 is the area. Of course, units squared. I'll write that. Units squared is the area of triangle ABC. Alright? So, again, just to review, our new formula for finding the area of a triangle is 1/2 of one side times another side times the sine of the angle between them. Alright? The important thing to remember here is you have to have your triangle set up in side, angle, side format. Okay? So the two sides that you're using, you need the angle that those two sides form. Alright? Side, angle, side. Angle has to be in between your two sides. That's why in this triangle, we had to solve for the 71 degrees. All right, now, we could have solved for this side, but that would have just caused extra work, because in order to get this side, first we had to get the 71 degrees. Okay, we had to first get it. So once we got it, why not just go ahead and plug into the formula instead of using the law of sines to find this side? But if we would have found that side, then we could have used any two sides in their included angle, and they would have all came out to 124.8 units. Okay? So, write this down. Watch this video again if you need to. Make sure you understand how to do the sine area formula for finding the area of a triangle. All right? See you tomorrow.